Welcome to Wildcat Gym. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle. Time for Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome into this game. Lovington girls, it's a solo game. Lovington girls varsity playing Clovis varsity here. And the JV game just ended a few minutes ago. Clovis JV won that game 61-13. We'll get the girls varsity action started here in just a little while. Lovington girls come into this one 4-11 under head coach Wade Scott. Their last game was a loss to Carlsbad 55-23 here. They were supposed to have played last night along with the Lovington boys at Texaco, but Texaco had some COVID cases, so that game has been postponed. It's been rescheduled for Tuesday, February 8th. So we're happy that that game and those games will actually get played. Hopefully, we will see. Now, after this game, what's up next for the Lovington girls will be a game against Carlsbad on Tuesday night, the 18th at 7 p.m. And then Lovington girls start district on Tuesday, the 28th against Artesia on the road. Clovis comes into this one at 12-5 under head coach Jeff Reed. Their last game was a loss against Volcano Vista, 54-26. And after tonight, the Clovis girls will be playing at Goddard on the 18th, Tuesday night at 7. And the Clovis girls start their district on Friday the 25th against Carlsbad on the road. So that is the situation as we come into this game this afternoon. And I think the Lovington girls, I wonder if they appreciated maybe another day to actually practice after, a tough loss at the hands, a not unexpected loss, though, at the hands of Carlsbad last week.
Well, and, any day that you get to, an extra practice day is going to be important. I think it would have been good for them to play that game against Texaco yesterday. Of course, they will be making that up here, as you mentioned, in a couple of weeks. But, they're coming off of a loss to a team that is in Clovis's district. And so, maybe learn some things. Clovis, I think, going to be a lot different than what we saw with Carlsbad, and that's going to be a murderous district. The Hobbs Lady Eagles are in that district as well, and you've got Carlsbad, who is big and physical. You've got Clovis, who's physical but much faster and plays more of an outside game, and then, of course, you've got the Hobbs Lady Eagles, who are run and gun, press, do everything they can. So that district's going to be tough for the Lovington Lady Cats. They're actually, in some ways, almost looking at a mirror image of themselves when they're taking on this Clovis team. The Clovis team has a little more size, but they're going to be based on tough defense and pressure and speed.
These two teams faced each other on January 4th, and Clovis won that game 61-29. So Lovington girls are going to look to improve their performance against Clovis in this one tonight. And, there's nothing to say that you can't go for the win either, whether it's expected or not. That's why you play the games. And we will be getting this one underway here in just about a little over 8 minutes as both teams are out on the floor, still doing warm-up, still in their warm-up jackets. And not a real big crowd here, as you might expect for a Saturday game. I'm surprised there are actually, a handful of Clovis folks who made the trip down and are here. So some purple in the stands and a handful of Lovington folks. Maybe we'll get a few more in here, but a Saturday afternoon game, of course, with the weather cold and windy as it is, and just the girls, this afternoon, no boys game to help draw a crowd either. So, but the folks who are here are anxious to see these teams play and anxious to support the Lovington girls in this effort, and of course Clovis supporting their team as well. So we're looking forward to some Saturday afternoon basketball right here at Wildcat Gym.
Yeah, should be an absolutely fantastic game. Of course, plenty of great seats available. Nothing like watching it in person, but if you can't get here, we appreciate you watching on HobbsAmerica.com and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. Of course, please do subscribe to that YouTube channel. Tell your family and friends. Advise them to do that as well. Remember, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, and then for every 1,000 subscribers we get on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel, one subscriber will randomly win $100. Now, in the game here on Tuesday night, Lovington had a tough go against the Cave Girls. 55-23, the final in that game, as you mentioned earlier, Dawn. But some bright spots for Lovington in that game. Elizabeth Buendia with 10 points in the ball game. She, was a double-digit scorer, and Lovington did a much better job rebounding in that game. Only rebounded by 33-31, and at times it seemed like Carlsbad just a sea of trees in there, but Lovington really battled and, did very well in the rebounding game. Celeste Dominguez had 4 points in the game, but more importantly, she had 6 rebounds to lead the Lady Cats. Erlyn Salcedo also chipping in 5 in that game. So there have been some bright spots throughout this season for the Lovington Lady Cats, even in a game where offense was at a premium, where they only score 23 points in the ballgame, but still a double-digit score, still girls in there battling and fighting for rebounds. One interesting stat, and I didn't notice this on Tuesday, we did not go to the free throw line at all Tuesday
not a
night.
single time.
0 free throws
right.
on Tuesday night. It's hard to win when
right.
you're not getting any chances at freebies. They turned the ball over 26 times unofficially in that ball game. Now, one of the strengths of this team this year for the Lovington Lady Cats has been forcing turnovers. They've been forcing close to 30 turnovers per game. They only forced 14 out of Carlsbad. That's a fairly low number, and I think a lot of that was just attributable to Carlsbad's size. Just hard for our girls to get in there and get around them and get the ball swatted away.
Hard for Lovington to catch up with them at times. So the fact that we didn't go to the free throw time at all, any line at all, and the fact that only 14 of forcing 14 turnovers really shows a sort of a light defensive pressure. And I think at times it seemed really tight defense. At times Lovington on Carlsbad, but I think those stats will certainly tell you that Lovington needs to step up their defensive pressure, and but against a bigger, sometimes faster team, it's a little difficult, to chase them down, and they weren't hanging onto the ball, enough. They were turning the ball over, so it's going to be interesting to see how they stack up against Clovis again tonight, this afternoon that is, and we'll have the game coming up here. And we've got about 4.5 minutes left on the warm-up clock. We'll have the team introductions here in just a moment. Let's run down the rosters for you. Number 2, Jodin Everett for Clovis. Number 3, Yvonne Fuerte. Number 5, Paige Harris. Number 10, Maya Slade. Number 12, Zarai Lewis. Number 15, Aspen Ulabari. Number 20, Luisa Chavez Garcia. Number 22, Allison Thomas. Number 23, Malia Uriaste. Number 25, Brooklyn Zunick. Number 30, Kaylin Jefferson. Number 33, Shalonda Lefebvre. Number 40, Giselle Petner. Number 42, Martha De La Rosa. And number 50, Aja Gonzalez. Or maybe Asia. For your Lovington girls, the complete roster is number 3, Kyra Olivas. Number 4, Audrey Alexander. Number 5, Celeste Dominguez. Number 10, Jasmine Cooper. Number 12, Chloe Corral. Number 14, Tiana Thompson. Number 20, Elizabeth Buendia. Number 23, Myra Castro. Number 30, Erlyn Salcedo. Number 32, Mia Contreras. Number 33, Myra Castro. Number 42, Katie Bell. Number 44, Jalen Aranda. And Ashlyn Barunda and Jasmine Clark are also listed on the roster. I believe Jasmine wears jersey number 50.
She has been the last couple of weeks.
I'm not sure about Ashlyn Barunda. Of course, she, I think, is a JV player as well. So, and sometimes checks into that varsity game and sees some action later in the game. So those are your rosters. We, of course, will talk about starters once we move into that area. What's interesting, I thought they were bringing the girls off the floor, getting ready for the announcements, but they stayed out there. Both teams are still shooting hoops and taking warm-up time, but we probably will have these introductions and the national anthem coming up here in just a moment. It's a pretty quiet gym this afternoon. No pep band, and I don't think any cheerleaders, so it's just basketball. And sometimes that's how it should be, just a nice pure game all on the court. And the excitement is soon to start here as the refs make their way across the court over to the scorer's table, getting ready to call the girls in, get them ready for the team announcements. And so we will take a break and be back with the start of this one. It's Lovington Girls Basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com from Wildcat Gym. Welcome back to Wildcat Gym. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle. Time for Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. It's Lovington, 4A Lovington, squaring off against 5A Clovis today. And your starters for Clovis will be number 10, Maya Slade, 12, Zariah Lewis, 20, Luisa Chavez Garcia, 22, Allison Thomas, and 33, Shalonda Lefebvre. Your starters for Lovington, number 3, Kyra Olivas, 12, Chloe Corral, 20, Elizabeth Buendia, 23, Myra Castro, 30, Erlene Salcido, and those are your starters today. The girls are out on the court in the circle, ready for the tip-off of this game.
And just a quick note tonight, no Celeste Dominguez for this game. Number 5 will be Ashlyn Barunda.
Lovington girls are in the home whites with the blue numbers, and the tip-off goes to Lovington. They get it out to Buendia. Buendia drives around the left side, leaves it off for Castro. Castro gives it to Olivas. Olivas back to Buendia. Buendia pulls out, center court, back over to the right, to Castro, to Corral, who drives into the right side, leaves it off for Buendia. Approaches, drives into the lane right side, and the ball is taken away. First turnover for Lovington and a steal for Zariah Lewis. Clovis has got the ball. They're in your road purples with white numbers, or sort of maybe gold numbers.
Kind of silverish gold.
Silverish gold numbers and white outlines. The ball goes out of bounds. It's Clovis's ball. It's inbounded, given back over to Thomas. Loses the handle, keeps it. Good defensive pressure by Buendia. And then going to pass over to Lewis, and out of nowhere flies Buendia. So good defense by Lovington so far. It stays Clovis basketball, though. Thomas has got it. She inbounds it. Gets it over to number 20, Garcia. Garcia passes back over on the left side, back to Lewis. Lewis looking for room. Gets it over on the right side to 33 Lefebvre. Then they pass it back over, driving along the baseline underneath the hoop and up and in. First 2 points of the game belong to Thomas. It's 2-0 Clovis. Lovington with the ball. Buendia brings it down, crosses over left side, gives it to Olivas at top of the circle. Back to Buendia left side. Passes over to Castro, right side. Castro stops, takes a look at a three-pointer, won't fall, and the rebound is brought down by Slade, her first. Passes it off. Clovis with the ball, left side. Gets it over to the right to Lewis. Passes to Lefebvre. Lefebvre drives around the outside of the circle. Back over to the right corner to Lewis. Getting worked on by Castro. And Garcia takes it back. Passes over to the left corner. Bounce pass into Slade underneath the basket. And she travels under good defensive pressure there. Both Salcido and Castro were right there on her tight. So that's a turnover for Clovis. Clovis still leads 2-0. Lovington with the ball. Buendia brings it down right side. Gives it off to Corral. Corral loses the dribble, picks it up, gives it to Olivas. Olivas comes back up. Top of the arc, drives in right side, kicks it out to Corral. Corral on the right wing, takes a shot at a three and drains it. So a 3-2 lead now by Lovington. Nice shot by Olivas. Really nice positioning there. Lovington was patient, worked the ball into that shot. Clovis with the ball. Thomas has got it right wing. Passes to Lefebvre. Lefebvre back out. They get it to Lewis left side. Good defensive pressure by Olivas and Buendia. There's a bounce pass in, and it goes out of bounds again against good defensive pressure. Really, these turnovers by Clovis, the last two turnovers, have really been forced by good defensive pressure by Lovington. Buendia's got it, brings it down center court, passes to Olivas on the right wing. Olivas comes over, top of the arc, gets it to Corral. Corral drives in right side of the lane, and there's a foul as she was going straight to the hoop, driving hard. They're going to call that, I believe, on number 12, Lewis. That's going to be her first foul. It's going to send Corral to the line. And she will take a shot. It's 3-2. Lovington with the 1-point lead. 5:12 left to play in this first quarter here at Wildcat Gym in Lovington. First shot is up. Oh, and it rattles around. Finally drops in. So good one for Chloe Corral. She'll get a second shot. Coming off is Olivas. Going in for her is number 5, Ashlyn Barunda. She's wearing Celeste Dominguez's usual number. 4-2 your score now. Second shot by Corral. Eyes it, skies it, and this one Lane, they're going to say lane violation. Nope.
Yep, lane violation on
by
Clovis.
Clovis. I think that was Slade who jumped the gun just a little bit, so it's as if it never happened, and Corral will get another shot. So she missed that one, but her actual second shot is coming up. And this one also does not find the mark. And that is number 10, Slade, with the rebound, her second. Oh, and a quick turnover, though, as stealing that. Buendia in there for a nice steal. And then she's fouled on top of it. So they're going to call that, I believe, is that going to be on 10 or 12 on Lewis again?
Going to be on Slade.
On Slade. So number 10, first foul on her. Good hustle by Lovington. They've come out ready to put a lot of defensive pressure on Clovis, and it's paying dividends so far. And that's Buendia with her first shot up and good. Sinks it. 5-2. Lovington with a 3-point lead now. 5:05 left to play in this first quarter.
And going to be very important for them to stay patient on offense and keep being aggressive on defense.
Yeah, they have been patiently moving the ball around, waiting for their good shot. Second one's up, no good. Clovis with the rebound. I think that was Slade getting in there for her third. Clovis moves the ball down, gets it to Lewis. Lewis pulls up left side, drives in, pulls back. That's Thomas with the ball now. Drives in, pulls back, gets it back out to Slade. Now they pass it back over on the right side. That actually had been Lewis and then to Slade, and now it is Thomas. Good defensive pressure. The ball goes into the back court, and it's going to be a backcourt violation, so Lovington will get the ball. Again, good defensive pressure. These turnovers are coming as a direct result of Lovington playing heads-up basketball, being where they need to be, and are really playing tight defense against Clovis. They inbound, Lovington with Myra Castro with the ball, and they say she palms the ball, so that's going to be a turnover.
But just the second for the Lovington Lady Cats.
Right. We've had, 3 or 4 now for
Clovis,
yeah. Right? And Clovis with the ball back, bringing it down to Garcia, left side. Passes to Lewis, right side out of the arc. Good defensive pressure by Buendia. She drives the lane anyway. And they're going to call the charge on her. They're going to call...
Yeah,
they're going to call Buendia. They're going to call push foul on Buendia. It's going to be her first. She was just a little too tight on her, and when Garcia pivoted, it really they just slammed into each other. There was no room to run, no room to hide. So Clovis with the ball, not a shooting foul. Inbound, get it to Jefferson, who's new in the game for Clovis now. She passes it over to Thomas, who puts up the layup. Thomas has got all 4 points for Clovis so far. 5-4 your score. Lovington leads. Buendia with the ball coming down the right side. Gets it to Alexander in the game for the first time for Lovington this afternoon. Tight pressure on her. Tight enough that Clovis forces a steal and a turnover. Thomas takes it down. Thomas gets actually a feed. That was an assist from Lewis.
Actually a rebound on a putback.
And Thomas with 2 points. She's made all 6 of Clovis's so far. So 6-5, Clovis with a 1-point lead. Lovington with the ball. Castro brings it down, gets it off to Barunda. Barunda back to Castro, right side. A bounce pass across the baseline to Erlene Salcido. Puts up a shot, doesn't fall. And the rebound is by Clovis. I believe that was Jefferson with the rebound. And Lewis with the rebound, okay. And a bounce pass right in the lane. They're going to...
Offensive foul on Slade.
Say that Slade, that's her second foul. And that gives Lovington the ball. Lovington will have it. Castro inbounds. Get it to Malaya Castro. Castro to Castro. Malaya brings it down, gets it, keeps it left side. Passes into Salcido in the lane. She puts up a shot, won't fall, and that's going to be Jefferson with the rebound now. Finally, that's her first. Clovis with the ball. Clovis with these offensive rebounds, denying Lovington any second looks, and pulling up Thomas from outside the arc, pops a shot. It's just a 2-point shot, but it does give Clovis the 3-point lead at this point, 8-5, with 2:59 left to play in this first quarter. There's a 30-second timeout taken, and we'll just keep it right here and say a big thank you to Stone Oilfield Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lovington Schools, Nowell Pharmacy, Lee County Electric, Lovington Auto Supply, Bob's Riftway, First American Bank Lovington, and Norlee. And we're here with Lovington Girls Basketball on LovingtonSportsYouTube.com and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan along with TJ Miracle. First quarter, Just under 3 minutes left to play in this one here at Wildcat Gym. And Lovington showing a lot of spark and great defense early on, forcing some turnovers. But then they had a couple of turnovers of their own.
All the damage being done by Allison Thomas. They need to make sure that they keep somebody on her at all times. Two of her 4 buckets, it's been when they've basically lost her.
That's right. And Thomas has put them up from left, from right, and from close in and further away, so she can hit them anywhere. Lovington with the ball, brings it down. Barunda's got it. She loses the handle. That's another turnover by Lovington. Clovis picks it up. And that was number 40, Petner, in the game for the first time for Clovis. She loses the dribble, and she traveled. And so that's another turnover for Clovis.
6th turnover for the Clovis Lady Wildcats.
Yeah, Lovington will get a chance, and they've got 6 turnovers. I've got only 3 for Lovington.
4 for
Lovington now. Okay. And Lovington with the ball. That is Castro. Malaya inbounding, bringing it down. Oh, and there's another turnover. A quick steal by none other than Thomas, and she brings it down, gets really close to the basket. I think she could have pulled up. I know she traveled, and she did pull up to take a shot, but she traveled. So, again, that's 7th turnover. So, Thomas, she works fine when she gets fed the ball. And Lovington with the ball back. Barunda has got it on the left wing. Barunda again a travel. That's twice Barunda has had the ball, and she has turned it over. She's either traveled or gotten it stolen from her. So now it is number 40, Petner, with the ball for Clovis. Brings it down right side. They get it to Zarai Lewis. Lewis puts up a shot, won't fall. Offensive rebound in there by Petner. She puts a shot up, won't go. And this time the rebound is Malaya Castro's. Castro passes it off to Audrey Alexander. Audrey right in underneath the bucket, gets it blocked from her, and Clovis takes the ball. Fast break down the court and underneath the basket, putting up a shot. It doesn't fall, but it's going to be Lovington's ball.
Yeah, as it then went out of bounds as a rebound was made by Lewis, and then she put up a little putback off of the rebound, and nobody could get it on that and went out of bounds.
It really wasn't much of a shot. It was kind of just it was kind of a throw up. She just threw it up a little bit.
Yeah, almost trying to draw a foul,
right.
I think,
instead of actually make a shot. Lovington inbounds, though. They benefit from the turnover. Myra Castro to Malaya Castro, back to Myra. Clovis with their own tight defense pokes the ball away, and it gives it to Jefferson. Jefferson rolls all the way down underneath the basket, going to put it up, but she draws the foul. So
actually, no, they're going to say clean block by Castro.
They are. Wow,
and so
Castro.
She got it clean.
There was a whistle, so I assume they were going to call the foul on her. So a block, but Clovis kept the ball. And making that point this time, Lefebvre. So she's got 2 points in the game. 10-5 your score. Clovis stretching it out. Lovington with the ball. Myra Castro driving into the lane. And she puts up a shot, but it won't fall. And they're going to call number 20 on, I believe they're going to call that in.
Lefebvre.
Yep, Lefebvre. Number 33, so her first foul.
That is the 4th team foul on Clovis.
And that's going to put Myra Castro at the line. Myra had driven in the lane to put up a shot. And her attempt falls out, hits the front and then the back of the basket. She'll get another chance, though. It's 10-5. Clovis going on a little roll as they forced 3 turnovers and made Lovington pay every time for those. And again, no good on that second shot. Clovis with the ball. Garcia brings it down right side. Passes it over to Thomas. Thomas drives back around. Gives it back off to Garcia. Now they get it to Petner. Petner. Oh, and it's going to be Barunda with a reach around foul.
Just the second team foul on Lovington.
Yeah, Barunda again, in tight on her, trying to just provide some tight defense, but a little too close. So Clovis with the ball. There's a 3-point shot attempt up from the left, no good. A fight for the rebound, and coming up with it is going to be Petner, and then a putback, no good. Fight for the rebound, and now this time it is Lefebvre. And they pass it over to Garcia, who puts up the shot, and it's good. So 12-5, Clovis stretching things out here against Lovington, who was up early in this game.
They're on a 10-0 run.
25 seconds left, and has a steal against Myra Castro again. And putting up the ball was Slade. Slade with, no, that was Petner with the steal. It was, Petner with the steal. And that 4 looked like a 1, and I thought, no, that's not. So Petner with the steal and the attempted basket, but she gets fouled, and they're going to call that on Myra Castro, her first. So Petner with her first shot is up and good. So 12-5, Clovis leading, just under 19 seconds left to play in this first quarter here. Lady Wildcat basketball at Wildcat Gym. Petner's second shot coming. And it's good, too. Lovington on a scoring drought. They have not scored for several minutes. They need to break that drought right here, maybe put up a shot and make that right before the end of this first quarter. They bring the ball down, get it to Brune to left side. She puts up an air ball, and that's going to come down. De La Rosa with the rebound. She drives it down, and there's going to be, well, an attempt at a last shot as they tried to feed the ball to Thomas in the lane. It goes out of bounds, so with 1.03 seconds left on the clock, it was last touch by Clovis, so Lovington's got it, but they won't even have a chance to get a shot off. So at the end of the first quarter, it is 14-5 here. Clovis in the lead against Lovington, and we'll be back with more Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Wildcat Gym for Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan. Welcome back to the start of the second quarter. It is 14-5, Clovis in the lead. Clovis inbounding. Thomas takes the ball, getting worked on by Buendia. I'd like to see Lovington get back to their really tight defense if they were ready. There's an air ball shot attempt up from the left corner, won't fall, and Lovington with the rebound. Who got that?
That was Cooper.
Cooper just now in the game for Lovington, first time, and a steal from Thomas, her second steal of the game, and another turnover for Lovington, and Thomas makes him pay as she rolls down and puts up her 10th point of the game in this one. 16-5, a quick timeout going to be taken as Wade Scott says, whoa, this is not how we want to start off the second quarter. 16-5, your score, and Clovis, of course, looking like they were out for blood again, although it was looking favorable, as Lovington looked like they were going to be putting up some tight defense again, very much like they did at the start of the game, and that served them well. It kind of knocked Clovis back on their heels a little bit at the start of the game and put Lovington up on the scoreboard for about half of that quarter. Lovington led, but Lovington went on a scoring drought, started turning over the ball too much. Clovis has been getting their off rebounds and denying Lovington some looks at the basket. Buendia brings it down left side. Gives it to Corral. Corral back to Buendia. Almost a bad pass. She saves it. Buendia driving outside, top of the arc. Pulls back toward midcourt. Gets it over to Olivas, who drives the lane, puts up a little shot, won't fall. Fight for the rebound. And tying up the ball, they're going to call a foul on the arm. Yes, they are. They're going to call the foul on Buendia. Buendia was trying to tie it up, and instead gets her second foul called on her. It's not a shooting foul. It's on the floor. And the ball will go to Clovis. It'll be Zarai Lewis. That is the second foul on Buendia. Lewis will inbound. Get it to Watson. Or rather to Garcia. Garcia to Watson. Watson pulls up. Left side. Passes over to Garcia. Garcia gets it in. Driving in the lane was Lewis. Putting up a shot and reaching in on her. I believe they're going to call the foul on her. They're going to call.
I think they're going to call the charge on Clovis.
Yeah. The refs are talking about it. One, I think, was ready to call a foul. The other was ready to call a charge. So they're talking about it. But it looks like they're going to let the charge. Yep, it is a. Oh, no. They're going to call an elbow foul. And they're going to call that against.
Going to call that against Lewis.
Yeah, against Lewis. So number 12, Zarai Lewis, her third foul.
And that will be another turnover for Clovis, their 9th of the game.
I've got 7 down for Lovington. Is that right?
9.
9 apiece now. Lovington with the ball. Bringing it across the timeline. They pass it over to Chloe Corral on the left side. She loses the dribble but gets it back. Now gets it to Myra Castro. Back to Corral. Corral drives in. Myra Castro sets up for a three-point shot, and she drains it. Myra Castro with a nice 3 from the right side makes it 16-8. Clovis with the ball. Garcia's got it left side. Getting worked on by Corral. Gets it over to De La Rosa. De La Rosa passes into Lefebvre. Back out to Garcia. Drives around the baseline. She's trying to get around Salcido to do it. She steps out of bounds. So, no, they're going to say it remains Clovis ball. So, Clovis inbound. And taken away. Nice steal by Salcido. And another turnover, number 10 for Clovis. Good defense. Good heads-up basketball by Lovington. And they get it to Olivas. Brings it down right side. Gets it to Cooper. Cooper pulls out. Gets it to Corral. Corral passes over to Myra Castro on the left side. And she can't hang on to it. It goes out of bounds. So that's turnover number 10 for Lovington. Both teams with 10 turnovers right now. 16-8 your score. Clovis in the lead. 5:52 left to play in the second quarter here at Wildcat Gym. Clovis with the ball. Get it down right side. De La Rosa passes off to Garcia. Garcia into the lane against Lefebvre, who puts up a shot. She gets hacked on the way. And they're going to call that, I believe, on Corral.
Yep, that'll be her first personal 5th-team foul on the Lady Cats.
And that's going to send Lefebvre to the line. It's her first trip to the line. She's got 2 points in the game for Clovis. 16-8 your score. First one is up. No good. Really hard. Bounces off the backboard. So a miss for Lefebvre. And coming out of the game is Jasmine Cooper. Going in is Myra Castro in the right blocks. Ashlyn Barunda in the left block for Lovington. And the second one is up and nothing but net. So Lefebvre with 3 points in the game makes it 17-8 Clovis. Myra Castro brings the ball, or Myra Castro brings the ball down right side. Passes it off. Passing around the arc. Back to Olivas on the right side. Now to Corral. And they're going to say, it's a violation. So Lovington with another turnover. That's number 11. And that's going to give Clovis the ball. That's Lefebvre. Hands it off to Garcia. Garcia now to De La Rosa. De La Rosa back to Garcia. Left side. Thinks about the 3. Pulls up. De La Rosa with a bounce pass in the lane and a badly timed bounce pass instead. It goes right to Barunda. Or right, actually, to Salcido. Salcido with a steal. Turnover number 11 for Clovis. Olivas with the ball. Passes to Myra Castro. Top of the arc. To Chloe Corral, back to Castro, over to Olivas on the right side. Olivas pulls up. Loving girls patient, passing around the outside of the arc, and coming in to try to steal is Jefferson. And she
hit the floor hard.
She did. She really just stepped across. It was not a trip, and it certainly wasn't. She just happened to jump in front of Castro, and because she did, she caught the foot and went down hard, and she's going to come out of the game and go sit on the bench and recover from that. Hit her left hip really hard, but no foul. It simply goes out of bounds. So an attempted steal, and now that is stolen. The inbound pass with Thomas. That's her third steal of the game. She brings it down, pulls up for a 3, who doesn't fall. Salcido with her first rebound of the game, but it's promptly taken away. So another turnover Clovis with the ball. They get it over to Petner, left side. Petner to De La Rosa. De La Rosa out to Garcia on the right wing. Drives in, bounce past the top of the key. Lefebvre pulls in a little jumper and drains it for 2 points. 19-8 now. Clovis also being patient and playing for the position and the shot.
And that's pretty much textbook what you want to see out of your post. Just put it on the floor once, get position, and shoot it.
And Myra Castro with the ball now as she passes over to Chloe Corral. Corral is bumped into. Big hip check by Garcia. So Garcia is going to get called for that foul. That's number 20. That's her first foul. It's not a shooting foul on the floor. Castro inbounds. Gets it to Corral. Corral to Myra Castro. Oh, almost stolen away again by Clovis. It almost goes out of bounds. Lovington saves it. They pass it to Salcido. Then Salcido loses it. And again, a turnover by Lovington means Clovis has got the ball. These teams batting it away and battling for the ball, and turnovers back and forth. Watson had the ball, came down, and she got fouled.
Actually, it was away from the ball as Petner and Salcido were battling in the low post. And so they're going to call that on Erlin. That'll be her first personal 6-team foul on Lovington.
All right, and Bell comes into the game for the first time for Lovington. It'll be Salcido coming out, and Clovis will inbound from underneath their basket. Bounce pass into the lane, a quick put up by none other than Thomas, and she's got more points in the game. She's got 12
of the 20,
now,
yeah.
12 of the 21 that Clovis has. 21-8 your score. Clovis leading, Lovington with the ball. Bring it down right side. Olivas driving in the right side lane, trying to put up a shot, but she is fouled.
And that'll be on Lefebvre.
A lot of fouling in this game, both sides. And Lefebvre will get called. That's going to be her second foul. And it's going to be, that will put Olivas at the line, her first trip to the line. She puts it up, and it falls in. She uses the backboard, and
whatever it takes.
Exactly. Yeah, it looked like it was going to bounce right back out, but it goes down instead. So nice shot. 21-9 now, as coming back into the game after getting that falling hard to the floor was Jefferson. This one is no good. Fight for the rebound. It kicks out. Loose ball picked up by Olivas. Olivas passes over to Castro right side, gets it back. Passes to Alexander, left side. Gets it to Myra Castro in the left corner. And the Lovington girls pull it back up. Driving into the right side into the lane is Olivas. She puts up a shot, but it is stolen away. Another turnover as with the ball is Petner. Drives it down the right side, then pulls up. Gets it to Garcia. Garcia gets it to Watson, who drives in left side, puts up an air ball. And that is Myra Castro with the rebound, her first. 21-9 is your score. 2:38 left to play in the half. Lovington with the ball. Olivas got it right side. Oh, yeah, she traveled. So turnover. She was trying to direct traffic and get Castro back so she could pass to her, and instead she kept moving with the ball. So turnover number 15, I think, for Lovington.
That's
16?
Yep, nope, that's
15. Okay.
Yep, we're on the same page.
Clovis with the ball. They will inbound right in front of the Lovington adult section. I don't know, whistle sounds. I don't know. I think they're going to say, oh, somebody, a spectator had a little bouncing white ball that came on the court. So they stopped play for safety reasons, asking the fans to corral that white ball. But he had a white rubber ball up there. So Clovis will maintain the ball. Garcia will inbound, get it over to Petner. Petner bringing the ball down across the line, center court. Gets it back to Garcia left side. She draws the lane. Puts up a shot, won't fall. Katie Bell with the rebound. But she is pushed into, they're going to say 20, Garcia. They're going to call Garcia for the foul, her second.
Yeah, and that'll be the 8th-team foul, so we'll take the long walk down the court. Lovington is in the bonus, so that'll be 1-1 for Castro.
Yep, Myra Castro will go to the line. She is 0 of 2 so far. Maybe she can change that, turn that around right here. Give Lovington a chance to cut back into this lead. Clovis is leading 21-9 with 2:13 left to play in the second quarter. Myra Castro's shot is up and no good. Free throw shooting woes for her. Rebound by Petner brings it down. Petner, I believe, is going to say she is going to get fouled. They're going to call Castro.
They're going to call the foul on Barunda.
Barunda. So Ashlyn Barunda with her second foul. And that's going to send Petner to the line. She's 2 of 2. First one is up and good. She's got 3. She's 3 of 3 at the line. Makes it an even 22 for Clovis now. Ashlyn Barunda comes out of the game, and going in for her is Corral. We got Bell on the right blocks, Castro on the left for Lovington. No good. And that.
But a turnover immediately on Lovington,
Right.
and Clovis will head back to the line.
Yeah, Petner missed that. Second shot.
Going to call the block on Myra Castro.
I was waiting for the number to go up for sure. Myra Castro, that's her first foul. And that does send Jefferson to the line. First one's up, no good. Rolls off to the right. 22-9 your score here. 2:02 left to play in this second quarter. Clovis leading in Lovington. A lot of fouls. This has been a really choppy game. Not much rhythm by either team because they've been a lot of turnovers and a lot of fouls. So that second one was good. And
Myra
Lovington,
Castro.
Right, Myra Castro bringing it down. Nice.
Drains the tray.
Yeah, nice 3 points for her. Myra Castro, her first points of the game. Clovis with a shot up, won't fall. Nice rebound by Audrey Alexander. She kind of picks it up from off of the rim, brings it down, kicks it out to Myra Castro, takes a shot, won't fall. Clovis with the rebound. Watson takes it down. Right in front of the basket, won't fall. Jefferson with the rebound. The putback won't fall. Chloe Corral with a nice rebound. She brings it down, puts up a shot, gets fouled.
And the Clovis faithful thinking it should have been a charge. The feet looked like they were moving from up here, so Lovington will head back to the line.
And they are going to call that on 23 or 32? 23. Uriaste?
Yes.
Yeah, Uriaste. Her first foul. She's just barely in the game for Clovis. And that's going to put at the line, that is
Corral.
Chloe Corral. Her first one is up and no good, so she's 1 of 3 at the line so far. She'll get another chance at this. 23-12 your score. Clovis leading. Down to 1:13 left in this first half. And no good. Clovis with the rebound. That's Thomas. Thomas gets it off to Petner. Petner brings it down to De La Rosa. De La Rosa, no room. Good defense by Lovington. Gets it back to Watson. She pulls up, gets it back to De La Rosa. Thomas, rather. Thomas to De La Rosa. And there is
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul, yeah. De La Rosa, they're going to say. So that's her first.
Or no, they're going to say she stepped on the sideline. Pardon
okay.
me.
So a turnover. I thought it was going to be a foul, too. So Lovington's got the ball, and it is Myra Castro. Gets it across the timeline on the right. Passes to Myra Castro. Passes it back to Malaya. She tries a 3, won't fall. Fight for the rebound. Katie Bell's got it, and her putback is good. So she's got 2 points. 23-14. Lovington chipping away a bit. But Clovis with the ball. Less than 30 seconds left in the half. They give it off to Thomas. Looks like Clovis is going to just hold on to it, work for the final shot before the buzzer. As they pass around the arc, and now driving in the lane's Petner. She puts up a shot. It's good, and they're going to count the basket and the foul as Petner she draws the foul, and they're going to say the foul is on, 5?
Olivas.
Number 3, Olivas. He put up 4. It was number 3.
No, actually it is on 4. It's on Alexander.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yep. All right.
3, 4, 5. We'll get it right eventually.
Okay. So Petner at the line to shoot. She's 3 of 4. This one misses, though.
Gets her own rebound.
Gets her own rebound, but then she falls down.
And is fouled.
Yep.
Nope, they're going to say travel
instead.
instead.
Yep, they say that she traveled. So another turnover by Clovis. Gives Lovington the ball. Just a few seconds left. Castro drives in the right side, pulls up. puts up a shot, won't fall. It's an air ball, and that is 22 Thomas. And a last-second effort by Jefferson does not fall. So we end the second quarter. At the half, it is 25-14. Clovis leading Lovington. We'll be back with your halftime show. More Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com from Wildcat Gym coming up. back to Lovington Wildcat Gym, Lovington Girls Basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle, and your halftime score, 25-14. Clovis is leading. Here is how we got there. Your scorers for Clovis, leading scorer is Allison Thomas, 12 points. She's got 4 rebounds and 3 steals to go with that. You've got 5 points for Lefebvre and 2 rebounds. You've got 5 points for Pittner with 3 rebounds and a steal. You've also got 2 points from Garcia with a rebound. And then rebounding, Slade has 3. You've got Lewis with 2 rebounds, a steal. You've got Jefferson with the 3 rebounds and 1 point. And then De La Rosa with 1 rebound. Total rebounds for Clovis, 19 in the first half to go with 13 turnovers. For Lovington, leading scorer is Chloe Corral with 4 points. And she has a rebound to go along with that. Contributing as well, Myra Castro with 3 points, 2 rebounds. You've got Myra Castro with 3 points, 1 rebound. You've got Katie Bell with 2 points and 3 rebounds. Then you've got a point for Olivas. You've got a rebound for Alexander, a rebound for Cooper. And you've got Buendia with a point and a steal. And then you've got Salcido with a rebound and 2 steals. And that's it. So you have a total of 10 rebounds for Lovington and 16 turnovers in that first half, TJ.
Well, you do, and Lovington, some things to work on in the second half. They only went 3 of 11 from the free throw line in the first half, so under 30%, definitely not a winning formula right there. They're having their trouble from the line. They turned the ball over 16 times in that first half, and 10 rebounds in the first half, did much better in the second quarter. They had 9 rebounds in the second quarter. For Clovis, they went 5 of 9 from the free throw line in the first half, turned the ball over 13 times, and 19 total rebounds. Lovington winning the rebounding battle 9-7 in that second quarter, though, so doing a much better job on the boards there in the second quarter. So the Lady Cats are doing what they need to do there, but they are going to have to take advantage of every look at the basket that they get. Lady Cats, I like the thinking. They're trying to get in. They're trying to cause internal pressure, get into the paint against Clovis. Problem is, a lot of times Clovis a little bit bigger on the inside, and Lovington, instead of continuing to be patient, a couple of those turnovers were caused when they drove into the paint and drove into double and triple coverage and just did not have a seam anywhere to look and cause turnovers. And in the case of both those turnovers, turned into points the other way for the Lady Cats in purple.
That's right. So, when in doubt, if there's too much traffic in the lane and you're going to have too much competition, instead of just thinking, oh, boy, maybe at the very least I'll just draw a foul, kick the ball back out and pass around until, again, you have the good shot that you can take and have a better chance at making that if the lane is blocked and or crowded. At the end of the first quarter, it was 14-5 Clovis. At the end of the second, of course, 25-14, Lovington trailing by 11 as we get this second half back underway here at Wildcat Gym. Lovington girls ready, Clovis breaking their huddle, taking their spots on the court, and we will get the third quarter underway. It's going to be Myra Castro inbounding. She'll give it off to Buendia with no defensive pressure by Clovis. Buendia takes it, moves over to the right side, outside the circle, passes back to Castro. Castro moves left, leaves it off for Corral. Corral drives into the right side, then pulls back. Looks for room, gets it to Buendia. Buendia drives in, then kicks it over to the outside to Castro, then to Corral. Corral to Olivas. Olivas top of the arc. Over to Buendia. Buendia drives in, pulls back, then pulls back for a 3-point shot and drains it. 3 points for Buendia. 25-17. Clovis still leading. Clovis with the ball. They bring it down. Lewis has got it. Top of the arc. Leaves it off for Garcia. Garcia over to Thomas. Thomas passes it off to Garcia. Bounce pass in the lane, and they get it out to Lewis in the right corner, and she drains the 3. So 3 points, more points in the game 3 points in the game for Lewis. She wasn't on the board yet. Lovington with the ball. Buendia's got it. Outside the arc. Loses the handle on the ball. Picks it up, though. No turnover. No travel. Gives it to Olivas. Olivas backs up to the timeline, almost steps over. Then drives right side into the lane. Oh, and a bad bounce pass to Salcido as Clovis was right there ready to try to scoop it up. And it goes off the foot and out of bounds. So it's a turnover for Lovington, their 17th.
And had the look there. I'm not sure why she passed it. She had an open lane to the basket.
Clovis with the ball. They pass around the outside to the right side. Then Thomas drives in. Passes it off over the left side to Lewis. Lewis in the corner. Gets it to Lefebvre, puts up a shot, won't fall, and that's Myra Castro with a rebound. Myra taking her time across the timeline. Center, pulls over to the left, gives it to Olivas. Olivas drives in right side, gives it to Buendia. Buendia drives in, then kicks it over to Castro left side. Castro drives in, bounce pass. Corral picks it up, but that was a travel on Castro. So she was thinking about the pass, then pulled up, and before she could let loose of it, takes that extra step. So
yeah, got to be very careful with that extra step.
Yep.
And if you're Lovington, they've had some open looks at threes.
They have.
They've got to be able to start taking them.
They have turned over the ball a couple of times, and Clovis with the ball back. Garcia on the left side. They pass it over to Thomas. She takes a three, won't fall. There's a fight for the rebound. Going up for it is Erlene Salcido, and she gets fouled. So they're going to call that on Slade, I believe.
Yep, that'll be her
10.
third personal.
So Slade with a foul. It's going to be on the floor, not a shooting foul. Castro inbounds for Lovington to Buendia. Buendia comes up the court, left side. Passes to Corral. Corral works the ball to center court. Then she pulls up at the top of the arc, takes a three, won't fall. Erlin Salcido with a nice offensive rebound, but the putback won't fall, and it's taken away by by Clovis. Clovis, and that is Garcia driving into the right side and puts up a shot from the right side, and it goes in, a little layup, kind of uncontested. Lovington didn't know quite what to make of her. Lovington with the ball. Buendia's got it. Bad pass over as, the pass was okay. Corral just, I think, wasn't quite ready for it. She turned her head away and lost it, so it goes out of bounds, and that's turnover number 19 for Lovington. 3 of them very quickly right here in the start of this third quarter. 5:05 left in this third quarter. 30-17 your score, Clovis leading. Clovis with the ball. Garcia brings it down, gets it over to Slade, right side. Or no, not Slade, Lewis. Lewis working hard. Passes it off. Down a pass across the baseline, ends up going out of bounds, so that's a turnover by Clovis. That's their 14th. Lovington will have the ball right in front of the Clovis bench. They'll inbound. I believe that's Myra Castro. She'll get it to Buendia. Again, no defensive pressure against Lovington. Buendia with the ball. Works over to the left. Leaves it off for Myra Castro. Top of the arc, working right. Getting worked on by Lewis. Drives right side, gets it to Myra Castro. Myra Castro drives in, passes it off to Olivas, who gets in the lane, and she's going to try to put it up. But it doesn't get up very far before it's blocked, and they're going to call the foul, I believe, on Lewis.
No, they're just going to say out of bounds. So
okay,
clean block for Lewis.
Okay, so Lewis with a nice block. Lovington still with the ball. Buendia's got it the right side. Behind the bounce dribble, or behind the back dribble. Gives it to Myra Castro. She puts up a shot, won't fall. Salcido with the putback, and she gets fouled in the process. So the putback no good.
Yeah, the putback went.
Oh, the putback went, so it fell. Sorry, I looked down to see about her rebound situation. So
she'll go to the line for one the old-fashioned way.
She is at the line, and they call that
Thomas.
On number 22, Allison Thomas. And the first one is up 30-19 your score. As Clovis with the ball, inbounding right in front of the Lovington bench. Buendia down there to put pressure on. That is going to be Garcia bringing the ball down at midcourt. Good defensive pressure by Buendia. Almost steals it away. Clovis keeps it. Pass it around the arc. They get it over into the left corner, then bounce pass into the lane to Lefebvre, who loses the handle on it. It's picked up by Olivas. Nice steal, and turnover number 15 for Clovis. Olivas has got it right side, gets it into Myra Castro. Myra gets it back out to Olivas, takes a shot, won't fall. That's Lewis with the rebound. Lewis drives in the right side, bringing it in all the way, enters the lane from the left side, puts up a little shot, won't fall, fight for the rebound. They're going to call a jump ball. I believe that is the first jump ball that we've seen in this game as Castro gets a handle on it, and they're going to say the arrow goes the way of Clovis.
But a nice job there. Olivas got position and then immediately got tied up, but she's given up probably 5-6 inches to most of those girls inside for Clovis.
Clovis will have the ball. They inbound, get it to De La Rosa. And then Lewis is right there in the corner, but she travels. As soon as she gets the ball, she takes that little, it's that little Euro, it's that little stutter step.
They're actually going to call a foul on Lefebvre. That'll be her third personal as they say that she pushed off against Castro down a little bit away from the basketball.
All right.
So she's going to have to sit with 3 fouls.
And Lovington has the ball. It is Buendia. Buendia brings it up left side. Gives it to Castro. Castro pulls back. Pass into Buendia. Drives in. Tries to put up a shot. Won't fall. That's Erlyn Salcido with the rebound and the putback. That's twice she has managed the rebound and the putback now. And Lovington chipping away, 30-21, trailing by 9 now with 3 minutes left to play in this third quarter. Lewis with the ball for Clovis. Gets it to Petner. Petner back out to Lewis on the right side. She drives in, puts up a shot, air ball, but it is Thomas with the rebound and going for the putback. She gets fouled on the way up. That's going to be on, is it going to be Erlyn Salcido that they call that on? Let's see.
That's going to be on Barunda, her third personal.
All right, Ashlyn Barunda.
Just the first team foul on Lovington, but it'll put Thomas at the line for 2, her first trip to the stripe.
Right, and she's got, let's see, she's got 12 points in the game, and she misses the first one. Her 12 points coming in that first half of the game. She had 4 rebounds and 3 steals to go with that. She's had another rebound since then. Coming out of the game is Salcido and Barunda. Going in is Bell and Alexander. Bell and Myra Castro in the blocks for Lovington. In rebound position. And that one goes in. So Thomas with 1 of 2 there. Makes it 31-21.
And a timeout on the floor.
And we will go ahead and it is, it's a 30-second spot. It's a 30-second timeout. We will just keep it here. And again, at 31-21, it's a 10-point lead by Clovis in this third quarter, late in the third quarter. And a timeout being taken as Clovis on a little bit of a run, and then Lovington started eating into that and got a couple of rebounds and putbacks, and before you know it, they cut into that just a little bit. They were down by 11, now down by 10. It feels, just because of the momentum shift, a little bit of the momentum more Lovington's way, it feels like they're not down by as much. That will be Lovington ball coming out. Castro is going to inbound right in front of the Clovis basket. Castro looking for Buendia. Buendia takes it up against pressure on the right side. And loses the handle, slips down, and travels. So there's a quick turnover by Lovington again. And Clovis will get the ball right in front of the Lovington bench. If Lovington wants to try to eat into this lead more, they can't afford to keep turning the ball over instead of hanging on to it and looking for scoring opportunities. Clovis with the ball. Garcia's got it right side, drives in to the lane, bounce pass right underneath the basket to number 30, Jefferson, and she puts up the easy layup. Makes it 33-21. Myra Castro with the ball. She goes across the timeline at midcourt and then passes it down to Olivas. Too strong, though, over the head. Olivas can't get to that, so that is going to be another turnover for Lovington. Number 21. Clovis with the ball. That's number 40, Petner with it. Petner gives it to Garcia, back to Petner. They get it to Lewis in the left corner. They kick it back out to the right side to Garcia. Puts up a shot, won't fall. Fight for the rebound. Looks like it's going to be Lovington's with Olivas fighting for it. They call a jump ball. This time it should be Lovington's. Yep. This time the possession arrow goes to Lovington. That's only the second jump ball in this whole game. Before, they were just all fouls. There were fights for rebounds and fights for the ball, but fouls were called. Castro looking for room, finally. Just beating the 5-second call by, and tries to get it to Myra Castro and gets bumped out of bounds. Last touch by Lovington, so Clovis will have the ball. And there's a timeout called. Let's see.
By Lovington.
Lovington timeout. It's going to be a full minute. So we'll take a break and come back with more Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. 33-21 your score here at Wildcat Gym. And welcome back to Wildcat Gym. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle. As the Lovington girls against Clovis this afternoon, 33-21 your score. Out of a timeout, a minute 56 left to play in this third quarter. Lovington running out of time. They got to eat into this lead by Clovis and they can. They're just down by 12. Clovis inbounds, gets the ball over to Lewis. Lewis puts up a shot. It doesn't fall, doesn't really even have a chance at falling, but she gets fouled in the process. And they are going to call that one, I believe, on, I did not think, that's not Barunda because she's not even, 42 Bell.
Yeah, it'll be on Bell.
It's on Bell. That's her first foul. And that's going to send Lewis to the line. And up and good. She drains it. So Lewis, with another point in this game. She's got 4 to go along with 3 rebounds and a steal. Second one, no good. But the rebound is made by Jefferson, so Clovis keeps the ball. Garcia with it out on the left side, passes it over on the right to Petner. Petner back. They give it to Lewis in the corner, and she is wide open and drains the three-pointer. Makes it 37-21. Uh-oh, the whistle sounds, and the ref is going to say 22 blue.
And so they're going to call actually a delay of game.
Wow, there is no 22. They're going to call 22 on Thomas. That's odd. Okay. 42 on De La Rosa.
And there's the 5 seconds. So.
And that means that the ball's going to go right back over to Clovis. As that's twice that Castro has been trying to inbound, Myra Castro, and has not been able to find anybody. Clovis gets it in. Passes it around the arc. Gets it over in the right corner. Lewis looking for room. Pulls up. Passes to Petner. Petner gets it to Garcia. Garcia back to Petner on the right wing. Bounce pass in, then they get it to Thomas. Thomas back out to Petner. Petner drives into the right side. Bounce pass in the lane to Jefferson right underneath the basket. And yes, she puts up the basket and draws the foul. So she is going to the line.
For the and one.
Yep, for the and one after 2 more points. And let's see, that's going to be on number 3, Olivas. That's her first or second
foul? No, that's
foul?
her. I've got it as her first.
First foul, yep. Jefferson. No good. They're going to say.
Over the back on one of the Clovis players on
right.
Petner.
So Petner with a foul. And Lovington will have the ball. That's going to be Castro. All right, Castro inbounding. Looking for room. Finds Myra Castro. Back to Myra. Myra getting trapped up in the back court, trying to find room. Clock is ticking. Clock is ticking. Barely makes it across. Loses the ball. Fight for it. It's loose on the court. Olivas going for it, and it's going to be a jump ball as Olivas dove for it up against number 2, Jordan Everett, in the game for the first time for Clovis. Possession arrow goes to Clovis, and that is going to be Petner inbounding. Petner to Garcia. Garcia brings it up. Back to Petner on the right wing. Back to over in the left corner. Good hustle by Olivas. She knocks it out of bounds. It's going to stay Clovis basketball. That'll be Lewis inbounding in front of the Clovis bench. Pass back to Garcia. Garcia pulls up. Clovis slowing the pace of the game here a little bit. Passing around the outside of the arc. Get it back over to Petner on the right side. Into Lewis in the corner. Back over to Everett. And back over to the right side. Petner drives in. Good defense by Lovington. They get it. Kick it back out to Everett. Now they get it over to Lewis, who drives in, puts up a shot, fight for the ball. It gets loose on the court. And they're going to call the foul, though. I think is going to call that on a... Nope, they're going to say...
Yeah, Olivas got the rebound.
Olivas got the rebound, but she got run into her. Jefferson, I believe. Is it going to be 30 or 40? Petner? Okay, 30, not a 4. So Lovington inbounds. Chloe Corral with the ball, getting worked on hard by Everett. Everett forces a turnover. Then the ball is popped up.
And a foul called on Lovington.
A foul is going to be called, I think, on Corral, right there in front of the girls' bench. Corral really didn't have any room to work. So Corral with her second foul. Clovis with the ball. It's Petner on the right side. Gets it across to Garcia. Back to Petner on the right. Drives in, and at the buzzer puts up a shot. It's an air ball. And at the end of the third quarter, it is 39-21. Clovis leading, and we'll be back with more Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Wildcat Gym. It's Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle. 39-21 your score at the beginning of this fourth quarter. Clovis leading. Lovington with the ball inbounding. Buendia's got it left side. Kicks it to Myra Castro. Myra to Corral. Drives in the right side of the lane. Puts up a little jumper. Won't fall. Fight for the ball. Salcido has got it. Her putback won't fall. And then she kicks it out to Olivas. Her shot won't fall. So 3 looks at the basket there for Lovington, and no good. Clovis has got the ball. That is going to be Lewis from the left side, and she drains another 3. She's dangerous. She's got 3 trays in the game.
And that puts her in double digits.
And 42-21. Clovis doubling up Lovington. Lovington with the ball. There's a pass down in front of the basket intended for Salcido. She kind of gets run into, loses the handle, ball goes out of bounds, and there's no foul called. It's just going to be out of bounds and a turnover by Lovington. Clovis with the ball. Lewis has got it left side. Gets it to Thomas. Thomas kicks it out to Garcia. Garcia pulls up midcourt. Works it on the right. Kicks it over to Lewis in the right corner. Good defense by Myra Castro. No room. So they get it over instead to Thomas on the left side. Thomas kicks it back out midcourt to Garcia. Garcia going to take her time. Buendia on her tight. Thomas He's going to get it to Slade. Slade to Thomas. Thomas over in the corner. And another three-pointer from the very same place by Lewis. And wow, three-pointer, 45-21. And Coach Wade Scott wants a timeout to try to cool this Clovis team down just a bit, as we're just into this fourth quarter. 6:27 left to play. 45-21. A couple of quick three-pointers and a couple of turnovers by Lovington, and this means that Clovis has really stretched out the lead, TJ.
Yeah, it certainly has. Clovis has come out, and they've worked it around. They've been very patient. Lewis is one of their sharpshooters, and Lovington has left her completely uncovered on the last two possessions in that deep left corner, and she's made Lovington pay for it on both shots. Nothing but net. She's now got 13 points in the game. She and Thomas each with 13. They lead all scorers in the ball game. Lovington has had some opportunities, but again, they're running out of time to be patient. If they can find an open look and a good look, it's about time for them to start taking it. I can understand, wanting to pass the ball around. Maybe you think a teammate's got a slightly better look, but if you've got an open look at the basket, whether it's from three or whether it's from somewhere closer in, you've got to be able to take that shot.
And they have taken it 2 or 3 times and had three different looks at the basket on shots, and their rebounds and their putbacks have not worked. So they have gone a little bit cold in their shooting, so even their looks have not paid off. But they've got the ball again. There's a long pass down to Myra Castro on the right side, who kicks it back out. It almost goes out of bounds, and tapped back in by Olivas, but right into the hands of Lefebvre, who takes it down and makes a basket. Nice little layup, and makes it 47-21 to Clovis. Lovington with Olivas inbounding to Buendia. Buendia back to Olivas, left side. Oh, another dangerous pass down to Corral, right? And it goes out of bounds, and they're going to say last touch by Clovis, though, knocked out.
Clovis has really ratcheted up the pressure here in the last, half or so, and Coach Wade Scott going to say, all right, let's take some more of it. If I'm not mistaken, actually Clovis is going to call this timeout.
Okay. So just over 6 minutes left to play in this game. 47-21 is your score, and 8 quick points by Clovis in this fourth quarter. And Lovington has not had a single score since the start of this fourth quarter. They ended with 21 points in that third quarter, and they still have that 21 points right now on the board. So they have not been able to get anything going in this fourth quarter. Their shots have not fallen, even their second and third looks at the basket, and they're just not having any luck, although they're continuing to put some good defensive pressure on Clovis. But they have turned over the ball. They've been a little sloppy with it. They came out, they've had 5 turnovers in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, just too many turnovers, and Clovis so far through the first 2 minutes of this quarter has yet to turn it over.
So inbounding from the student section, a very empty student section on this Saturday afternoon, will be Olivas. Olivas to Buendia. Back to Olivas, left side. She works around to the right, gets it to Myra Castro, who drives in right side, puts up a shot, won't fall, goes across the basket, fight for the rebound. It's going to come up. It's going to be Garcia's for Clovis. Garcia passes over to Lewis, left side. She drives in the lane, puts up a shot, and she is fouled. So
yeah,
she
and
will
Castro
go to the
was
line.
Down there with her.
And Zarai Lewis will go to the line. They're going to call Myra Castro, number 33, for that, her second foul. And Lewis goes to the line. She's 1 of 2. And she makes that first one. She's got 12, 13, 14 points in the game, and 12 of them are three-pointers, 2 at the line. She'll get a second shot. So Lovington pulled out Myra Castro. Myra's in. And Myra gets the ball. That second shot fell. 49-21 Clovis, 5:33 left. Buendia's got the ball for Lovington, gets it to Castro, back to Buendia, right side. Getting worked on hard. She drives the lane. She's going to get fouled, though, so that will send, that will send Buendia to the line, and they're going to call that on number 40, Petner.
So you're going to call it on Slade, number 10.
Slade, number 10. Right.
So next one, Lovington will be in the bonus as Buendia will go to the line for 2. She's 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
And nothing but net, so she buries that one, makes it 22, 49-22.
And
Lovington
finally breaks the ice in the fourth quarter for Lovington scoring.
Yeah, finally. As they ended that third quarter at 21 points. She'll get another shot at it and puts that one away as well. So she's now got 6 points in the game. Clovis with a fast break and a great assist down by Slade over to Lefebvre. 51-23 Clovis. Lovington with the ball going the other way. Buendia's got it right side. Passes, bad pass, and it's picked off. Another turnover by Lovington, and a nice steal by Lewis, who drives in left side, won't put it up. It's blocked. Then the ball ends up on the court. It's a free ball. There's a fight for it. They're going to say that it is a jump ball, as Buendia getting a handle on it, working against Lewis. Clovis is going to keep the ball, though. Lewis looked like a sure thing going up for that layup, but it got blocked. And Clovis with the ball. Oh, and they're going to give it over to Lovington.
And that was a nice job by Castro to come through, and she batted away and right to the hands of Thomas, who was still out of bounds.
So Clovis with the turnover. Lovington has it. Buendia's got it. Outside the arc, left side. Passes to Castro. Oh, and I think they're going to say...
They're going to whistle Lewis.
They're going to whistle Lewis for the foul.
And that'll put
Castro.
Lovington in the bonus.
Yeah, Castro will go to the line, and that is going to be the third. I've got 4. That's the 4th foul on Lewis.
Third. Yeah, it's the 3rd.
All right.
So Myra at the line. She's 0 for 3. Will shoot the 1-and-1.
It's up and no good. She's had her problems at the line today, but she's been rebounding for Lovington. That is number 20, Garcia with the ball. Across the timeline right side, gets it to Lewis in the right corner. Back to Garcia, over to Thomas. Thomas drives in, passes it off to Lefebvre, puts up a shot, and count the bucket, and she's fouled as well. So Lefebvre, or Petner, will go to the line. 53-23 now.
Yeah, it's Lefebvre.
Now Lefebvre goes to the line.
And they're going to whistle that one, I believe, on Salcido, so that'll be her second personal.
Number 30, Salcido.
16 foul on Lovington.
And Castro comes off for Lovington. And the blocks, Olivas and Buendia. No, Salcido. And that one is up and good for Lefebvre. Lovington with the ball. That is Buendia. 54-23 your score. Clovis leading. 4:17 left to play in the game. Oh, yeah, and they're going to say that she went out of bounds as Buendia stepped outside the line. So that's going to be another turnover.
Number 30 for the Lady Cats.
Right.
Yikes.
And Clovis has got the ball. It'll be Everett inbounding from in front of the Lovington student section. She'll inbound to Petner. No defensive pressure by Lovington. Petner brings it down left side. And they're going to say she traveled. So there's going to be a turnover. 13, that's number 18 for Clovis.
That is.
4 minutes, 8 seconds left to play in this one. Clovis is up by 31 points, 54-23. As Myra Castro's got it for Lovington. Drives in outside the arc left side. Passes to Alexander on the right side. Then they get it to Barunda. Ashland takes a 3-point shot. Was that Olivas or no, it is Barunda.
Yeah,
Ashland Barunda with 3 points from that right corner. Nice job. 54-26. Clovis with the ball. Petner's got it. Driving down right side, passes it off to De La Rosa, puts up a shot, won't fall, fight for the rebound, and Myra Castro is going to get it, but she's immediately assaulted, and a takeaway, a steal by Jefferson, who drives in the lane, and then it's stolen away as Barunda comes up with it. So Lovington ends up with the ball again. The teams trade turnovers. Pass it around to Alexander, right side, back to Myra Castro. Outside the arc, gives it to Olivas, top of the arc. Barunda puts up a shot, another 3-point attempt, won't fall. Alexander with the rebound and putback won't fall. And then the rebound by De La Rosa for Clovis. She brings it down left side, gets it to Petner. Petner gets it to Everett. Everett back to Petner, outside the arc left side. drives in, top of the key, bounce pass underneath the basket intended for De La Rosa, but she goes down. She's going to get fouled. They're going to call a push foul on Lovington.
Yeah, going to whistle it on Salcido. That'll be her third, and that will put Clovis in the bonus. So Petner will head to the line for the 1-and-1.
And Petner is 3 of 5 at the line today. First one, eyes it, skies it, and off. But the rebound, they're going to call a lane violation?
No, they're going to call Asia Gonzalez on a foul, a push as
so
she got position and went over the back of Castro.
She's in the game for the first time for Clovis, and that's her first foul. So 54-26 your score. Clovis leading. 2:55 left to play in the game, and that's going to put Myra Castro. Myra Castro is number 23. Myra Castro is number 33. And Malaya at the line. It's her first trip to the line, and it's off the mark to the right. But Clovis with the rebound. That was number 50, Asia Gonzalez. Clovis brings the ball down. That's going to be Petner left side. Gets it to Everett. Pass in the lane. They try to get that to Jefferson, but it's interrupted as Lovington trying to block that and keep it away. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Cooper got a hand on it.
Yeah, so it's going to stay Clovis basketball. But it does go out of bounds and kind of interrupts the rhythm of that offensive play by Clovis. There's a pass right underneath the basket, and putting it up is Jefferson, and the basket counts, and they're going to whistle the foul, and they're going to say that she was fouled, and they're going to call that on Cooper, Jasmine Cooper, her first foul.
8th team foul on Lovington, and at the line for the and one will be Jefferson, as you mentioned.
Jefferson puts it up, no good. And the ball.
That's really, you could then, even though it won't count as a turnover, Lovington fighting, a couple of girls fighting each other for the ball.
Right.
And so it goes out of bounds. So it'll stay Clovis basketball.
And it's unfortunate. Lovington needs all the possessions they can get. Ball inbounded quickly, and Jefferson just puts it up and in and gets fouled in the process. Bad foul by Lovington. Again, this time they're going to call that hack foul on the arm.
On Barunda.
Ashlyn Barunda. That's her fourth. And that's going to send Jefferson back to the line. It's up, and this one finds the bottom of the net. So 59-26 is your score with just 2:29 left to play in the game. Clovis dominating Lovington in this one this afternoon, especially stretching things out in the third and fourth quarters here. Lovington just trying to pass around the arc and try to hang on to the ball, and they're having trouble doing that. But they're going to call push foul, and it is Barunda who is fouled, and they're going to call that on number 2, Everett. It's her first foul, and that will send Barunda to the line.
19 foul on Clovis. Lovington will be in the double bonus next time. It should be 2 shots for Ashlyn. No, it'll be a 1-and-1.
Barunda with 3 points, a three-pointer in the game, and she makes the first one, so she'll get another shot at it. She's got 4 points in the game now. 59-27 with 2:14 left to play in this game. Clovis leading. Lovington with the ball. Barunda. Her second one is good. So she is 2 for 2. Makes it 5 points in the game for her. 59-28. Clovis with the ball. Brings it down right side. Passes to Everett. Pass it back to Garcia on the right wing. Or Petner, rather. Bounce pass in the lane right underneath the basket. No good. With the rebound is Alexander. Alexander passes off. Barunda, or Olivas. Olivas has got it. Brings it down. Passes to Barunda. Barunda over to Myra Castro. Back to Barunda, top of the arc. Then over to Alexander on the right side. She drives in, passes right into the lane to Cooper, and puts up a shot. But with the rebound is Jefferson. Jefferson gets it over to Garcia. Now they're going to say Garcia. They're going to call the foul.
Timeout called by Coach Reed.
So 59-28 is your score. We'll take the timeout and be back with more Lovington basketball at Wildcat Gym. Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com, where you're seeing and listening to the game today. Welcome back to Wildcat Gym. 59-28 your score. Clovis leading the Lovington girls this afternoon in a 4A up against 5A battle. Just a minute 31 left to play in the game. Clovis will have the ball. They'll inbound. That's Petner inbounding, getting the ball back. Getting it over to Ulibarri in the game for the first time for Clovis. They've got some younger players in. Zunic in, and they bounce pass in the lane underneath the basket. Ball's up, won't fall. Alexander with her third rebound. She gives it over to Myra Castro, who can't hang on to the ball. The ball's loose and gets kicked out of bounds. And it's going to stay Lovington basketball. That's one way to get it down the court, I guess. Kick it down there. All right, Olivas going to inbound, gets it to Alexander. Alexander takes a quick three attempt, air ball. And it's going to be 15 Ulibarri with the rebound. They get it to 25 Zunic, brings the ball down. Pass to Petner. Petner drives in right side. Gets it over to Ulibarri. Ulibarri to Zunic. Zunic to Ulibarri. Clovis just going to pass around the outside of the arc, looking for a position.
Yeah, they're just burning
somebody
time.
Inside. Now it's Petner who drives in the left side of the lane. Won't go with the rebound and the putback, and it doesn't fall, and that's going to be Myra Castro with another rebound for Lovington. Then she's trying to pass it down, get to Alexander, but Clovis takes it away. Another turnover by Lovington. And Clovis, that's Petner driving down the court, left side. She's going to get fouled, and I think they're going to say Alexander.
I think you will see
Olivas?
it's Olivas.
Olivas, okay.
That will put Clovis in the double bonus, and so Petner will head to the line for two. Petner with 5 points on the ball game.
Petner at the line, putting up a shot, hits the front, hits the back, rolls off. So no good for Petner on this one. She'll have another chance at it. 59-28, 23 seconds left to play in this game. Clovis. Oh, and that's no good. They're going to call a lane violation against. Are they going to? No,
they're going to say
Petner stepped on the line.
Yep, went over.
Yep. So that's a turnover. It just goes immediately over to Lovington, and it'll be Myra Castro drives in from the right side, puts up the layup, and Castro with 2 points. Makes it 59-30. Clovis with less than 10 seconds left. Driving in from the right side. An attempted shot fight for the ball. They're going to call, they're going to say it went out of bounds. Last touch by Clovis. So it'll be Lovington ball. Lovington inbounds. And with the final shot at the buzzer, almost makes it from half court. Corral with an almost buzzer beater there, but instead the game ends, and it ends with a final score of 59-30. Clovis beating Lovington girls here at Wildcat Gym. So we'll be back. We'll take a couple of minutes and be back to wrap this one up here. Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com at Wildcat Gym. And welcome back as we wrap things up here at Wildcat Gym, the Lovington girls basketball and Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Your final score in this one was 59-30, Clovis winning. And here's how they got there. We'll go down the scoring really quickly. For Clovis, you have 15 points for Lewis, 4 rebounds. You got 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals for Thomas. Jefferson had 11 points and 6 rebounds. Lefebvre had 12 points, 4 rebounds. Petner had 5 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. You had Garcia with 4 points, 2 rebounds. Then you had Slade with 3 rebounds, no points. Ulibarri had a rebound. And De La Rosa had 2 rebounds, and Gonzalez had 2 rebounds. So your leading scorer for Clovis was Zerai Lewis. For Lovington, your leading scorer, we had, it was pretty even scoring for Lovington, but with 6 points, Elizabeth Buendia with 6 points, a rebound, and a steal. You also had Myra Castro with 5 points, 4 rebounds. You had Ashlyn Barunda with 5 points and a steal. You had Chloe Corral checking in with 4 points and 2 rebounds. And you also had Castro, that's Myra Castro, with 3 points, 3 rebounds. Erlene Salcido with 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. You had Katie Bell with 2 points, 3 rebounds. And then you had Alexander coming in 4 rebounds total. Jasmine Cooper with a rebound. And you had, and that was it.
Kira Olivas.
Oh, that's right. Kira Olivas. I apologize. He's at the very top with 1 point, 2 rebounds, and a steal for Kira Olivas. And there were 32 turnovers for Lovington as opposed to 19 turnovers for Clovis. At the end of the first quarter, it was 14-5, Clovis leading. Then the second at half, it was 25-14. At the end of the third quarter, 39-21. And at the end of the game, 59-30, with Clovis getting this win over Lovington. And this means that Lovington now is 4-12 on the season. Next up for them will be a game on Tuesday night, the 18th. They will be at Carlsbad at 7 p.m. for that game. Lovington will be starting district on the 28th of this month at Artesia. Up next for Clovis, they are going to be at Goddard on Tuesday, the 18th at 7 p.m. And, of course, so we have Lovington boys back in action. They were not playing today, but they'll be back in action next week as well.
They will. On Tuesday, we will be at Tasker Arena in Hobbs, 7 o'clock. We'll have the boys' game here on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and also on Hobbs America and KZOR. So about 6:45 Tuesday night for the Lovington boys at Hobbs, a Lee County battle there.
And that will wrap it up from Wildcat Gym as they're turning off the lights. So we better turn off the equipment and say so long for now. I'm Dawn Morgan for TJ Miracle, and we will see you next week with more Lovington girls basketball and Lovington boys basketball, too, on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Good evening, everybody.